You know, some trade rumors make sense, and some trade rumors just have you scratching your head that you're like, well, what's going on there? What are they thinking there? Welcome back to Pixel Plus Hockey, guys. If you guys could make sure to hit the subscribe button, I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much for all your support. Now, we do know that the Montreal Canadiens were the one team that was literally all over Jordan Kyrou. This is a player that they just essentially obsessed over. I mean, I know the Maple Leafs did poke around Jordan Kyrou a little bit, but every time we heard trade rumors, it was around the Montreal Canadiens and Jordan Kyrou. And it makes sense. They need a top six forward. I don't think the Canadiens are going to be able to get the center that they want, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. If you need that player, you're going to try to get that player. Now, Jordan Kyrou's no trade clause has kicked in. That's absolutely true. Now, to be fair, that doesn't mean that you can't find a way to get him to waive his no trade clause. There are teams that will put a lot of pressure on a player, and we got more information today from Frank Cervalli saying that the Montreal Canadiens have not stopped their pursuit of Jordan Kyrou. And this is a player we just constantly hear about. You know, it's almost like the Montreal Canadiens are saying, hey, listen, we were unable to find the centerman that we wanted, so we're just going to load up on a bunch of really good top six forwards. And honestly, it might actually make some sense. I was interested to see if the Montreal Canadiens would go after Pius Suter, but unfortunately they just didn't do that. I thought that was a player, well, maybe not a top six center, signed for a relatively reasonable-ish cap hit. I think it was about 4.1, and I thought that Montreal had the wingers that can elevate that type of player. Like, if you put him with great wingers, you put him with Caulfield and Demidov, or you can put him with guys like that, and you really don't think that that's going to elevate his point potential? I mean, of course it will. They just need guys that can play center competently. So maybe he just wasn't interested in becoming a Canadian. Who knows what exactly was happening there? I know he didn't come back to Vancouver, although they were negotiating with him, but I just wanted to touch on that very quickly. Now, one other interesting quote that I found was in the Ray and Dregs podcast. This is the main thing I'm going to be talking about in this video. The quote goes, Darren Dreger, I believe the Canadiens were super keen, interested in Jordan Kyrou. Explain to me why St. Louis Blues would want to move a young player like that unless you're getting a player that we don't know is available in Montreal. Wow, that is a lot more interesting of a quote. I don't think the Montreal Canadiens as an organization are scared to make a big splash. So that quote by Dreger can either be pretty good and maybe work out for your team, or it can be absolutely terrifying. So the quote in this article says, is he talking about Uri Slafkovsky, Cole Caulfield, Michael Hage, or someone else? The story doesn't say, but it'll definitely be something to keep a close eye on. So let's go over those players. Number one, Cole Caulfield. I don't know about you guys, but that literally makes no sense to me. Cole Caulfield scored 37 goals, I think he got this year. I mean, Kyrou scored 36. I mean, that would be a wash. It's just a literal pointless. It's kind of like shuffling the deck chairs. It doesn't really make any sense at all. Although, I don't really know what the St. Louis Blues are even doing right now. They seem to be all over the place. Uri Slafkovsky. I don't not like Slafkovsky. I would do that trade if I was the Habs. I would probably trade Slav and then maybe add a little bit of a sweetener. I would definitely do that trade. I think that would make the Canadiens better. Number three, Michael Hage. This one has me worried a little bit because number one, Michael Hage is listed as a center. Now, he had a really good season in the NCAA, and you look at it from a perspective of they need centers. Now, we haven't even seen Hage play in the American Hockey League. I just want to be clear on this. We don't even know if he can play center in the AHL. I think that once players play center in the American Hockey League, it's a much better indication of how good that player is going to be and if he can potentially play center. But He is a center right now, so he very well could be the center of the future for the Montreal Canadiens. You could also look at Owen Beck, but I'm just very skeptical that a lot of guys, like going to the NHL and playing center is a massive jump, and going to the AHL, it gives you a better indication. I'm not sure I would really want them to trade Hage either, because he's a center. Perhaps that's what St. Louis was looking at, because maybe Montreal was willing to let go of a player like that. Drop it in the comments of any of those players, a roster player, somebody that is a potential impact player for the Montreal Canadiens. What player would you be willing to give up? Now, if we look at the Montreal Canadiens draft capital, they have 24 picks over the next 3 years. So they are absolutely stacked with draft picks. So I don't know but if that's what St. Louis wants, though, if you understand what I mean. Like, even them trading Bolduc to Montreal, it's kind of got me scratching my head. I'm like, but wait, he's a good young player, he's affordable, he plays in the guts of the game, he has top 6 potential. What exactly are they trying to accomplish here with that trade? So maybe St. Louis is just a very confused organization right now, and they just want to just make changes for the sake of making changes. I will tell you one thing, though. If the Montreal Canadiens traded Caulfield for Kyrou, I would just be like, I mean, I don't get it. Like, why are you doing that? That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, in my opinion. Honestly, though, I will say the most interesting quote today that we got was from Frank Cervale, saying the Montreal Canadiens are clearly still in pursuit of Jordan Kyrou. I love to see that. The Canadiens need to be relentless. They have trade assets, they have draft capital, they should be working the phones all summer, and there's a lot of teams that didn't get players that they wanted. We are absolutely going to see trades over the next 2.5 months, I would say. So keep it on this channel. We will definitely be covering that, guys. I'm going to leave this video here. If you can make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, guys. And make sure to have a great day. Goodbye, guys.